Hey guys, welcome back to the TBR Diaries. We are starting part 15 today, and we are also finishing up the second shelf. Yay! It's taken quite a bit of time to get through these first two shelves. Um, but it's been fun and I'm gonna continue on. So for those that are just joining us, um, this is like a little mini series where I'm going through and kind of organizing my physical TBR. And as I do so, I'm making these little videos where I'm sharing some of my books with you. So my physical TBR is just ridiculous and it's gotten completely out of control and we're up to over 200 books now. Um, yeah, as a reminder, this was what it started off being, just this one bookcase. Um, and it has now grown to a second bookcase that is also completely full. That's a little bit smaller sized bookcase than this one. It's not quite as wide or tall. Um, and then I've filled that one up. And so I have now started filling up a third bookcase. um, yeah, like I said, out of control. Uh, but let's finish up the second shelf of the first bookcase today. So I just want to discuss one series today. And this, like I said, this will finish up that second shelf. And then in the next episode, we can get on to the third shelf, um, which gets into the hardback books. But the series that I want to talk about today is the Never After series. And I have this one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, six books that are in that series. I don't know if any more are gonna come out in this series or if this is it. Um, but this series is it's a dark romance series, and they are it's fractured fairy tales. So it's a dark fantasy or no, excuse me, not dark fantasy, a dark romance reimagining um of Disney villains. That's amazing. So I'm really excited about this series. I was waiting until I had got the whole series before I started reading it. And then I was waiting for the first book in the series, which is Hooked. And this is part of my traveling book that I was waiting for it. So this was my copy, and I was waiting for it to make its way back so that I could then start reading the series. Um, so like I said, the first book in the series is Hooked, and these are all standalone, so you don't have to read them in order or anything like that. They're all their own unique stories. Um, I don't know if they're interconnected in any way, but I have not heard that they are. I've heard the opposite. So I don't think that they're like a bigger plot story going on, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But the first book, Hooked, is going to get into a reimagining of Captain Hook. And again, these are all dark romance, so check your trigger warnings. But yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. I'm super excited to see what all my ladies tabbed out, and to read this reimagining of Captain Hook. So the second book in the series is Scarred, and this is going to be a retelling of The Lion King, right? Because Scar was the villain in that one. Um, and I don't know what I haven't actually read like the back of any of these. I just know which ones they're about. So yeah, so that's a retelling of The Lion King. Then we have the third book, which I have seen some people pronounce this wretched and some people pronounce it wretched. Um, I tend to say wretched. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I say wretched. So that's the third book. And this is, I believe this one is the Wizard of Oz retelling. So this will be kind of the Wicked Witch of the West's story. Um, yeah, which that's very popular right now, right? With Wicked and everything else being out. All right, so the fourth book in the series is Twisted, and this one is a reimagining of Aladdin. So, right, our bad guy there was Jafar, or our villain was Jafar. Um, again, don't actually know what the story is. They seem like they might be, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're not contemporary, or excuse me, fantasy stories. I think they're more of a dark romance contemporary kind of reimagining, um, is what they sound like. So I don't think there's a fantasy element to these. But again, I haven't read them, so I could be wrong. Um, then the fifth book is Crossed. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of read the back of this one, and this is a reimagining of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And yeah, it's got a priest in there, so I'm pretty sure that's gonna definitely get dark. Don't know how I'm gonna feel about that one, but we'll see. And then the last one is Hexed, and this is a reimagining of The Little Mermaid. Um, so I assume this is kind of Ursula's story, because again, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that these are all from the villain's perspective, right? These are reimaginings of the villain stories. Um, but yeah, super excited to get into this series this year. I probably won't start this until I have finished a couple other series that I want to get to and finish before I start new ones. So I am working my way through the Hello series. I only have 2 books left to finish in that series, and then I want to get through the rest of the books in Akatar. So I want to finish all that out before I start this next series. The good thing with this one, though, is because they're not interconnected, right? Because they are their own standalone series, I should be able to I can kind of read them in between other things, right? Because I'm not a big dark romance girly. It's not that I don't know if I'm into it or not. I've never really, I haven't read a lot. I've dabbled a little bit. Um, but I've never read like a whole series of dark romance. So I'm kind of curious, and hopefully this will ease me into the dark romance world a little bit. But yeah, if you've read the series, let me know what you thought. I've seen some of y'all's reviews on here, and these books get mixed reviews. So let me know what you thought, and yeah, I'll see you on the next episode.